I raised the needle one clip, one position, and we're gonna go. I'm gonna go put the bike back together. I made a separate video on how to do that. If you guys want to know how I just did it, it's not gonna be part of this install video. All right, so just gonna put it back together. Hopefully it runs better. It's raining outside, so I can't take a quick test right now. Instead, we're going to try moving the clip up 2 and see if it changes anything. I'm just kind of just doing whatever now. Alright, let's put the airbox
So right here I dug out the jets that I got. So I got another pilot. I don't think we're going to mess with the pilot. The pilot, it runs fine down low. But we'll change the main. I have a 155 main, so that's one up from the one that's in there right now. I think it's a 150. Yeah, 155. So I hope that's enough. If we have to go bigger, if it runs better, and like if it runs a lot better, then I think we'll be fine. But I have a feeling that we may need to go up one more, like a 160 or 165. I think we're kind of close, but not really. So because adjusting the needle doesn't do anything, so I don't think that's the problem. The needle didn't really help at all. So all right, so fire it up.
I think we're gonna go ahead and change the main jet, and we'll see what it does. It runs okay, but there's like right in the middle, right like 50% throttle or something, like right in the middle. It like stutters a little bit, so there's just a little bit, but I feel that there's something not right, you know. So we'll go ahead and change the main jet. Hopefully that'll help. And then, but I still have the needle at the highest position also. So we may have to put that back. I'm not sure, but let's just change the main jet. Changing the needle really didn't do much, so yeah. So we'll go ahead. I'm gonna let the carb run dry. So when we open up the bowl for the main jet, we don't have to. There won't be too much fuel leaking out of it. All right.
Okay, so the bowl is done draining. So what I'm gonna do, dude, I'm pretty sure there's no way you're gonna be able to change the jet with the carb in there, man. I think if we rotate it that way, yeah, we just gotta take the carb out, man. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could probably rotate it on this side. The other side, there's the exhaust, so you can't really do anything. So the cool thing about this carb is it has a little there's a little plug that you can unscrew, and it'll give you access to the main jet. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Well, we're gonna have to take the carb off again, I guess. So I'm just gonna let it cool down. I'm gonna go have some lunch, and then we'll change it after lunch. All right, here's what I got. Okay, here's Omega here. So today I'm shooting a video on how to change your main jet without having to take the bowl out of your Mikuni carburetor. This is a KX65 carb. This is gonna be part of my my tuning vlog for my KX carburetor install on my KLX140, but this is gonna be a separate like kind of how-to video also. So I already got the carb out. For the KLX140, I would just take the carb out. I've gotten pretty good at taking it out already, so it's no big deal for me anymore. Some bikes you can probably loosen the clamps and then rotate the carburetor sideways, but I just took the carb out. You know, there's not a lot of room to work with on the KLX. So what you want to do before you do this is shut your fuel valve off and start your bike up, or let your bike idle until it dies. So the fuel will be all, you know, it'll have gone through the carb, and there won't be as much fuel because some fuel will probably come out. So for this particular carb, this is I'm not really sure what the model carb this is, but it came off of KX65, and it's a Mikuni carb. I'd imagine it's probably, I have a FCR MX carb, and it seems like it's the same process too. So what you're going to want is what you're going to need is your main jet, obviously, the one that you're going to replace it with. So this is a 155 main jet that we're going to put in place of the one. I think there's a 150 in there. So you're going to need a 6mm socket. This is and I think you can really only get them in a 1/4 inch. I would use a 1/4 inch. You don't want to use anything bigger than that. It's way too. So go ahead and go get a ratchet, and then you're going to need a 17 millimeter. Where did I put it? I had it a minute ago. Okay, so here we go. I got a 17 millimeter a wrench. You can probably use a socket too if you want. So you're gonna go. So on the bottom of these Mikuni carbs is a little access port for your main jet. So this allows you to change your jet without having to take the bowl out. If you wanted to take the bowl out, you would take these 4 screws out and the whole thing would come out. But since we're only changing the main jet, this makes it a lot more easier. I think they made this feature so if you're going to different elevations, different pressure, whatever, you can change your jet out easily. Because probably I think the main jet is what's most effective by elevation. So if you've ever gone to a higher elevation and twisted the throttle all the way and it kind of makes like a gurgling sound, that means you're running too rich, and then you need to change your main jet, or just rev it more. All right, so go ahead and loosen that. It's too hard. Screw it. Fuel may not spill out. Yeah. You may want to clean. You may want to take a look in there and see if there's any kind of dirt, and clean that out and wipe it out. There should also be an O-ring on it, and this O-ring looks kind of flat too. You may want to change that O-ring if it looks worn out. And then there it is. There's your main jet access. So there is also a baffle in there. You want to make sure that does not fall out. So anyway, so it's 6 millimeter is the size that you need to take the jet out. Go ahead and just unbolt the jet. Okay, and probably maybe just do it by hand. Yeah, so the baffle is held in by that other kind of assembly there. So if you're just taking the jet out, just use a 6 mil. So there it is. There's the jet, and it is a 150, like I said. And we're just gonna swap in our 155. Make sure it's clean. Probably stick it in there. Let's try to screw it in there without cross-threading it. Got a little finger tight. Go ahead and get your wrench. Help you out. Okay, so it's a little bit tight there, and then just snug it a little bit. It's made out of brass, and the carb is made out of aluminum. You don't want to put too much torque on it, so it doesn't take a lot of torque to get it in there. Okay, and then just put your cap back on. Actually, well, yeah, I'm gonna take it out and clean it a little bit, but you would put your cap back on. Go get your 17 millimeter wrench. Snug it up a little bit. That's it. So that's how you change your main jet on a Mikuni carb. Doing it using the little access port on the bottom. It's a feature that some Mikuni carbs have. All the Mikuni carbs that I have. Well, that's a good question. I think the one I had a Mikuni carb on my Warrior, and I don't think it had something like that. So only some Mikuni carbs have that feature where it has a little access port. But the KX65 does have it. The YFZ450 has it because I got a carb off of that, and I put that on my DR650, and it has that too. And I believe it uses the same 17 millimeter wrench, because somehow I knew 17 millimeter was the right size because I had done this before on that carb. and 6 millimeter is the size of the jet. So to get the jet on and off. All right, so I hope you learned something. That's how to change your main jet on your Mikuni carb for a KX65 in this case, without having to remove the bowl. All right, here's Miguel. Hope you learned something. Okay, so I just got the main jet changed, so we're gonna go. Gotta put the carb back in. Put the carb back in, put the fuel tank back in, and then we'll fire it up, and hopefully it'll run better. All right, here's Miguel.